Salut everyone, c'est moi, Elisabeth, and welcome back to my channel. It has been a while since my last video, or as Amberlyn would say, it has been a hot minute. I took a break from filming to focus on managing my anemia symptoms and also to manage my work schedule that completely took a turn around the time of my last video. Um, in my previous upload, I explained how I was diagnosed with iron deficient anemia after I was complaining to my doctor about how I just felt like a walking zombie. I was exhausted for no reason. I was feeling lethargic. I was feeling dizzy while sitting in my chair at work. I was zoning out. It was just so, it was a situation that was really unlike anything I'd really experienced. So I was really concerned, like, okay, maybe there was something really wrong with my health. And it turned out I was anemic. I was having iron deficient anemia. So also around that time is when my work schedule changed to mandatory overtime for peak season. So that also really didn't help with my exhaustion and my fatigue because, yeah, that mandatory overtime I thought was going to kill me this year. I mean, it happens every peak season, so I should be used to it, but it it just really it hits you in the butt whenever it comes around because it it seems like every year it gets a little bit harder and in other ways maybe a little easier, but yeah, it hits you hard. So, but now that the holidays are over and I'm managing my symptoms better, I'm really eager to get back to filming. I've really missed it. And I'm also really eager to get back to my weight loss journey, getting it back on track, and doing what I know I can do because of when I left off on this whole, journey. I was doing well. I was making progress. So even though I am where I am, which I'm basically starting from scratch, I am essentially starting over. I'm pretty much back to my original weight. I know because I've experienced it, I know that I can do better and I know where I can go from here. So it doesn't feel as much of a obstacle as it did when I was first getting started. Because it's like, oh man, I've never been at this way. I've never been able to get below certain numbers. How am I going to do this? And now that I've done it and I know I can do it, then I feel that propulsion that, even though I am starting from scratch, I'm essentially starting over, I can do it. So this time it feels different. So I'm hoping to keep that momentum going. So even though I did take a slight hiatus, um, I did manage to keep some habits going strong. I kept up with my regular walks with my father. We went to the park, we walked the dogs, we did that just about every single day we could, unless it was pouring down rain or unless it was snowing or icing. We would go to the park and we would do that walk. I wasn't always getting in my solo walks, so that did kind of fall by the wayside. I did them when I could or when I felt like I could, but we kept up the daily walks and I also kept up with regular drinking water. I have not been consuming really any other beverage other than water. I'll have a sweet tea about once a week. I might have a coffee when I have Sunday brunch with my family. I might have a cup or two of coffee, but that's it. Other than that, I am drinking water, and I'm, really proud of myself that I've been able to keep that habit going. I am consistently drinking water, and my water, unlike some people who keep buying their waddles, their bottled water when they have the means in which to drink it straight from the tap or from a dispenser or what have you. I get my water from my tap and I put it through my Brita filter pitcher and then I pour it into a glass. So easy, but yet others make it seem so difficult. Why is that? Um, Getting off track. Okay. So So that's been going strong, and okay, so I'm really happy with that. So again, I don't feel like I did when I first started this journey, where it's like, oh my gosh, this is going to be so hard and so much work, because now I've seen that I can accomplish goals in regards to my weight and my fitness. I've seen it happen. So you know what? I can do this. Even though I fell off track, I lost sight of my goals, I wasn't paying attention. Now that I'm getting back to it, I know I can do it. So I think that's going to be a really big difference and a big push. So as for my anemia that I was going through, um, in my last video, I had explained that my doctor wanted me to focus on diet first. And diet alone didn't seem to be working. When I first got started, I was really hyper focused on the iron rich food, on, making sure I was following my doctor's instructions. And even though I felt like I was doing the right things, she said I was doing the right things, it wasn't helping. My symptoms weren't really improving. And she said, okay, we have to go to the next step. So I had to start taking a supplement. So she recommended that I start taking a multivitamin as well as an iron supplement every day. So I have been going strong on this, and it seems to be working. I'm feeling so much better, which is why I'm so excited to get back to doing this and getting back to what was my normal. I feel like myself again. I don't have that feeling of extreme exhaustion I would go to bed, sleep for 8, 10 hours, wake up and still be exhausted. I could not shake it off. And I couldn't stand up straight. I was dizzy. I was nauseous. I was so lethargic. And again, just like a zombie. I was just like, oh, I'm walking through, I'm here, but I'm just existing, and I'm just, it was awful. And I'm really glad that it seems that the supplements are helping. I feel like I'm much more even keeled than I was then. So we've been keeping that up, and so far things have been going really well. My doctor did say that my overtime schedule was probably a contributing factor to my exhaustion and feeling like a zombie all the time. But my numbers for my blood work were still low, so she thought I really needed to go that next step of taking a supplement. So I've been doing that, and things have been really good since that. So, since I am getting back to my weight loss, I have felt like I wanted a little bit more accountability. I have made some changes to the way I am going about it this time around. Before, I was tracking everything in my planner, I was monitoring everything in my Fitbit app, and when I was coming back to it, when I decided I need to get this back on schedule, it it didn't have the same feel, and it didn't seem like it was working the way it did, because I felt like, I don't know if redundant is the right word, but it was starting to feel a little redundant to me. And it's like, okay, I think I need to make a change somehow, because this doesn't feel the way it did. I don't it's hard to explain, and I don't know if it's just because it's just something that maybe individuals who are on weight loss journeys go through this. I don't know. But when I was trying to go back to those old habits of how I was tracking everything, it just didn't feel right, or it didn't feel as rewarding, I guess. I don't know what it was, but I just had this feeling like if I continued to try to push through what I did before, I'm not going to keep up with it. Something was nagging at me that I'm not going to be able to keep this up the way I did. Yes, I went month after month doing it this way, and yes, it worked, and yes, it was giving me results, but I'm getting back to it, back to what was routine for me, and it just wasn't feeling right. So I have made a change to my tracking. Um, Now, you might think this is a little bit much, but instead of just using my Fitbit app now, because I was only using one app in which to help me track, my activity, my calories, everything like that, I'm now using two. And you're probably thinking, whoa, 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 why did you just make it harder for yourself? I don't think I am, and here's why. One of the things that I noticed when I was going through my journey the first time, when I was tracking my calories and watching what I ate, it was really throwing me off when Fitbit would tell me that I'd have so many calories, but as my activity levels increased, I was walking, I was jogging, I would do just dance exercises, different stuff like that. Every time an activity or, my steps were logged, it messed with my calories, and it would tell me that, okay, at one moment you had maybe 1,000 calories to consume, and then the next moment when I'm checking my Fitbit app just to see how my numbers are doing, all of a sudden it went up to like 1,500, 1,800, 2,000, and it's like, oh, okay, so I can eat more today. Cool. And I really found myself getting into the wrong mindset of just going off of what Fitbit was telling me and what I could eat. So even though I was losing weight, I was feeling good, I was keeping up with my fitness, at the same time, I don't think I was making very good decisions with my food because Fitbit kept telling me, oh, you can eat more, you can eat more. So, have at it. And I kind of ran with that. And I don't think that was a good choice. So I decided this time that, okay, I don't want Fitbit monitoring my calories because I don't want to get back to that mindset where I can just follow what it says, that even though Fitbit says I'm still in that 1,000 calorie deficit, which according to how I set it up, because I want to lose weight and so on, it put me at 1,000 calorie deficit. So even though it was telling me you're still at that deficit, I really think like it messed with my mind, and it was getting a little too complicated for me. And maybe that's just me. Maybe it's less complicated to other people. But for myself, it just wasn't clicking, I guess. So to try to simplify things for myself, what I'm doing is I am using Fitbit to track steps, to track my fitness, my sleep, my activity, basically anything that is automatically tracked by my Fitbit is what goes in the Fitbit app. Anything that I have to track manually, which means I have to enter it. So, for example, my calories. So when I have a meal, logging my meal, that's something that I have to do physically. So that information is now going into my FitnessPal. I am keeping calories and water separate from Fitbit. Fitbit is automatic, so I don't have to enter anything in Fitbit. Fitbit does it for me through the actual Fitbit device. Whereas my FitnessPal, that's where I'm going to track my food, to track my water. That is what I'm doing this time around. So I'm not using my planner as my fitness and weight loss tracker anymore. I started off doing it that way again while doing both apps, and that sense of redundancy came back to me, and it's like, okay, I don't think I need to do this. I think I'm in a place where as long as I'm still tracking, I'm okay because I can still see my numbers. I can still see how I'm doing. I can still track my progress. So I stopped recording it in my planner, so I'm not doing that anymore. But I am tracking my FitnessPal, and I am tracking through Fitbit. So we'll see how that goes. So far, I haven't been doing it for long. I think maybe a few weeks, maybe. I don't know the exact date. But so far, I'm liking it better. So we'll just see how that goes. Along with getting started back into this weight loss journey, I felt like I wanted a little bit more accountability. And something that I had been hearing about, I've seen on Instagram, is DietBet. I don't know much about DietBet, but I had heard about it from Fat Girl Fed Up on Instagram. I did see Papa Swolio's video about Diet Bet and how it's not a good idea. Swolenormous, he's a fitness guru on YouTube. Great channel. I highly recommend that you follow him. He's great. I love Papa Swolio. So I totally got what he was saying. I totally got what Fat Girl Fed Up was saying. And I was just debating, like, could this be something that might work for me? Because different people need different levels of accountability. And, maybe this is something that could help. I didn't know. So when I first started checking out Diet Bet, it's like, I don't know, should I or shouldn't I? I was debating it for like a good month. I debated whether I should try it because I really feel like I want some additional accountability. So when I found a game I could join for $10, I decided, all right, I'm going to try this. I am going to try this. So I have joined my first... I'm sorry, guys. The moment I said "so" that way, it just sounded so reminiscent of Amber Lynn, and I had to cringe. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, guys. I am not trying to emulate our girl. I'm really not. Oh. Oh my goodness. What was I saying? Okay. I I just joined my first Diet Bet. And I'm actually going to be putting together a video of the experience. I've already recorded some clips for the video. The game officially started on February 10th is when it started, and it lasts 4 weeks. So hopefully at the end of the 4 weeks, I'll have made progress toward my goal. I'll have lost some weight and maybe possibly get a little bit of a monetary gain in the process. I don't know. I have no idea how this kind of accountability will work for me. But I also didn't want to sink $40 to $100 into this because, I was scrolling through the different games and several of them would say 35, 40, 45, 100. It's like, no, I'm not getting that far invested into something like this because that I felt would really not be healthy. I what I feared was that if I sunk that much money into it, I would get obsessed and I would stress over the number on the scale. I would stress over what I was putting into my body and oh God, my weigh-in's coming in and I can't do this and I gotta stop, I can't eat for a day or I didn't want to get into that mindset and it really scared me that was something that I might do. So that was what was really keeping me batting, going back and forth, do I or don't I, do I or don't I? And when I came across a game that was only $10, and it's like, okay, it's $10. It's not a lot. You've got a $10 bill sitting in your wallet right now. You can take it out, put it aside, and think, okay, this $10 is going towards this. So if I completely screw up, this $10 is going in the bank. And maybe that's a really dumb way to think about this and to go about the whole concept, but I just wanted to feel like I wasn't going to be totally out of something if I completely failed. So again, maybe that's the wrong way to go about it, but that was just my thinking. So it's $10. All right, I can do this. Let's see how it goes. So I signed up for my first Diet Bet. I'm going to be filming each stage of the Diet Bet game. Again, it lasts for 4 weeks. So the completed Diet Bet will be done in March. I believe the date was March 8th is the final date of the end weigh-in or whatever. So that will be coming sometime in March when I've completed my Diet Bet, and we'll be able to see how I do. Did I win? Did I lose? Did I at least lose some weight? Did I at least make some progress toward my goal of losing weight? So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. After as for reaction videos, I have been keeping up with all the drama with Chantal, with Amber, with Amy, with Jen. I've been keeping up with it since my hiatus started. I've been watching a lot of the reaction channels because, like many people, I have issues with giving some of these ladies views, but that's neither here nor there. Um, so I have been watching and keeping up, and I have really been wanting to share my commentary, my feedback. Vlogmas came and went, and I was really wanting to say some things, but at the same time, I didn't want to get back to doing videos and filming and commenting until I felt like I could handle it. So I wanted to wait until I felt like, okay, I've got my symptoms under control. I've got my work schedule under control. The mandatory overtime is done. Peak season is over. I can get my life back to normal, what is normal for me. And now that I feel like I'm getting back to that stage, um, I really want to get back into doing my videos. So I am planning to, after I complete this one, to doing a reaction video, possibly I believe it's going to be an Amber video, either today or tomorrow. I'm filming this today, so I intend to have this uploaded possibly today or tomorrow, and then my next reaction video will be coming up hopefully shortly after that. So yeah, hopefully that will be coming up soon, and that's the plan anyways. So again, because I feel so much better. I feel like, okay, I can get back into doing what I was really enjoying at the time when things were taking a turn for me, because I was really having a lot of fun filming videos and doing reactions and just being part of the community. And yeah, so anyway, that's about it for this video. I just wanted to come on to tell you guys what's been happening, where I've been, and what's coming for my channel. So anyway, I just want to thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. You can also follow me on Instagram at Elisabeth Dom de Chat. The link will be in the description. So just thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. À bientôt!